following NASCAR Nationwide Series practice, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series teams have been hard at work getting these cars through tech inspection and lined up for qualifying on the whole new look, whole new feel Kansas Speedway as the race for the Chase Championship. Race number 6 in the Chase comes to very different Kansas Speedway than they left 6 months ago. A whole new look at Kansas Speedway, including the weather on this chilly Friday afternoon as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series drivers begin to walk toward their cars for their 2 laps of qualifying on this wicked fast mile-and-a-half racetrack to set all important starting positions for Sunday's race number 6 in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Look at the standings entering this race after the halfway mark in the championship run. Brad Keselowski's lead cut in half basically at the end of the Charlotte race last Saturday night. 7 points, 7 positions on the racetrack between Brad and Jimmy Johnson, with Denny Hamlin within striking distance. Clint Bowyer's Charlotte win reinserting his name into the championship conversation. Kasey Kahne from 5th on down, 35 points or more behind the championship leader. And inside the pit studio, Alan Bestwick, joined by our panel of champions, Dale Jarrett, Andy Petrie, and Ray Evernham. As I walked through the NASCAR Sprint Cup garage this morning, all people said to me were 2 words: track position. They think track position is going to be really, really crucial for Sunday's race.
Yeah, especially until this racetrack widens out. These drivers know they just have over a groove right there, out there right now. And so qualifying, getting that starting spot and keeping track position all day is going to be the most important thing come Sunday afternoon. But it starts right here qualifying.
Well, it does, and the unknown is how big or how wide will the track get. I spent a little time down there, too, talking to some drivers, and Brad Keselowski said that he felt like the track picked up about 3/4 of a second after the ARCA cars were on it this morning, and maybe by the time they run their race that we'll see a little wider groove. But right now it's a really unknown.
It is, and the temperature on Sunday is supposed to be a little bit different. That may help widen out the track, but these guys are still going to have to focus on qualifying really hard because they're not going to be able to use a lot of tire strategy. They're going to need a good pit pick, and they've got to keep their car in position all day.
Track position starts on Friday with where you do qualify. And as far as the qualifying session is concerned, one further word: fast. It is going to be fast. Looking at the practices from earlier today, everybody, all 46 cars that are here, were over the old track record in practice.
Yeah, as I talk to these drivers, that's the one thing that stands out. And when you get a race driver's attention, these guys are used to going 200 miles an hour, but averaging over 190 miles per hour at this racetrack, that's got their attention. They say they're out of the gas very little, and it's just amazing the speed they're carrying off the corner.
Yeah, we see that comes from grip on these new surfaces, and this new asphalt makeup, chemistry, whatever you want to call it, really has a lot of grip, and Goodyear's brought a really good tire for that. Even though it is hard, it does go fast. We saw this at Michigan. When you repave these racetracks, the speeds just go way up.
Yeah, and to go with those speeds, you get the battle of the engine builders, and this is what I always like. You know, you look right now, Greg Biffle up there, Eric Almirola, Carl Edwards in the 99, the Roush Yates Fords. Right behind them, the Hendrick Motorsports cars with Kasey Kahne and Regan Smith. I think that the engine builders really like this because you got to have a lot of horsepower when you've got that much grip.
Of course, one of the other stories that has unfolded throughout 2 days of testing leading into today's official beginning of the race weekend for practice, Denny Hamlin with a hard crash here yesterday at Kansas Speedway, and Hamlin basically showing just how fast this racetrack is. Sometimes you don't find out till something goes wrong.
Yeah, that's whenever you realize just how quick you've been going, and Denny kind of overcorrected. The car came off the wall. He overcorrected and got into the outside wall extremely hard. I talked to Denny this morning. He said he's okay today. He is pretty sore, but he said he was actually more sore after everything happened yesterday, so he was feeling better today. And I think that's a testament, and he and I talked about this a little bit, that he's in good shape. He works hard to stay in shape, and I think it's more for those type situations that it really helps you.
Yeah, these cars are relatively easy to drive as far as the steering. They got power steering, but the forces are so high on your body that I think that this is one of the reasons that the drivers have to be in such good shape. And these kind of crashes can really expose some of that, and for a driver that gets injured, he'll have to work through that.
And again, we talked about there being one lane being down the bottom because there's so much grip. When you're down the bottom and you have a problem, it's a long way to go to hit that wall when you get on top. So those guys will be looking forward to the track widening up so they can move up and get a little bit closer to that fence.
So we've seen from Denny on Thursday what can happen when things go wrong on a very fast racetrack. Again, Denny saying he's 100% good to go. And we'll see how fast it will turn out to be when the first car rolls for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying here in just a couple of minutes. Tomorrow, our coverage from here at Kansas Speedway starts starts with Sprint Cup Series practice at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Then the NASCAR Nationwide Series race over on ESPN at 3 Eastern Time. And then race 6 in the Chase, presented by Ram, 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday from here at the new look Kansas Speedway. A lot to talk about, and the conversation continues throughout the weekend on Twitter at NASCAR ESPN. The hashtag is Pit Studio. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll come back and roll the first car shortly. A busy and blustery Friday at Kansas City, Kansas, as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series gets set for qualifying on the newly resurfaced and reconfigured Kansas Speedway. Blustery, yes. Cool, yes. Had to break out the old winter jacket out of the locker in the truck this morning when we got here to the racetrack. It was a little on the chilly side, but supposed to be beautiful for Sunday's 400-mile race. Let's check downstairs with Jamie Little.
Well, Alan, as you mentioned at the top of the show, track position has been the catchphrase in the garage so far today. With the repave, it's made it a single groove track, and that means extra emphasis on qualifying right now. Now, a guy who has been great in qualifying here at Kansas in the past, Jimmie Johnson. He has 3 poles, more than any other driver. And bad news for his competition. After the one and only practice session this morning, he tweeted, "We were so fast in qualifying trim, I saw Elvis." So he's looking forward to qualifying here, but that's not the case for everyone. Right, Dave Burns?
That's true, Jamie. Championship leader Brad Keselowski finds himself in a familiar yet unenviable position, that being slower than most of his championship rivals in today's practice in qualifying trim. Brad hopped out of the car and said to me, "I hope it rains." Not that it would improve his position at all, but at least he wouldn't have to go through this frustrating exercise. As for reigning champion Tony Stewart, Tony told me right after practice the speeds here are, quote, stupid fast. I think we could see another track record. That'll be obvious, Alan, that we'll see another track record this week, but they could be in Charlotte territory. And remember, Charlotte has a lot steeper banking than here. These guys are going to be enjoying these qualifying laps.
Call that a glove save on Dave's part. Oh, wait, he's wearing gloves, actually, as the first car rolls. I don't know what it is. It's always a shock. The first, like, really hot weather race of the season, and then the first really cold weather race of the fall just shocks your system when you're walking around the racetrack.
I'll tell you what shocked you today, though, is how that wind's blowing. That 20 miles an hour, I think that was a little on the low side. I think it was more than that. And it is so, when you get that wind hit you, it's so cold.
So Dave Blaney, the first car to roll, as you look at that's a big flag that the wind is moving like that.
Our camera guy's been on the roof all day, and I'm telling you, that wind's blowing up there. They're trying to stay warm. Doing a good job, though.
I-70 out there in the backdrop as Dave Blaney roars off on his qualifying lap. So, the track record here at Kansas Speedway has stood since October 8th of 2005. Matt Kenseth ran 29.858 seconds, 180.856 miles an hour. Dave Blaney posted the slowest speed in today's practice session, and he was faster than that.
Yeah, it's just incredible, the speeds. And, you know, they're going to be some 15, 16 miles per hour faster with the fastest cars than what they were here back in April, the pole speed was. So it's just amazing what they've picked up. And the drivers, really, it has their attention, mainly because they have such a narrow groove to work in.
Yeah, and we've already seen the track record officially broken right there. First lap by Blaney. And, Dave, you're right. That track record was in danger.
29.45 for Dave Blaney versus the 29.85 the track record was.
He picks it up on the second lap, and that's something I think we're going to see more than what we've seen at most places. Most of these mile and a halves, we see them take 1 lap, and they're glad to get out of there and take that lap. I believe we're going to see them take 2 laps, and the drivers really aren't very happy about that because this has their attention, and they don't want to have to really hold their breath any longer than what they have to.
So instead of 30 seconds, you got to hold it for 60 now?
That's exactly right.
You think that the tire is so hard that it probably takes that second lap where at most places the tire's overheated by the second lap. Here, it's got probably just the right amount of heat in it to get good grip.
It's interesting to me as we watch Timmy Hill get up to speed in Frankie Stoddard's 32 car. The conversations I heard around race teams trying to decide what tire selection to make for qualifying. And a lot of times that's just stickers, a brand new tire, or scuffs, one that you've maybe just rolled in a lap or two. Now some teams were trying to decide whether they were going to go qualify on a set of tires they'd made 2 or 3 runs on already in practice.
I talked to some teams that were running like 6-lap tires in qualifying, some even more than that. It seems like it doesn't really hurt the tire to put even more than 6 or 7 laps on it. So a lot of teams are just doing that. It seems like, well, that's just a lot different than anything we ever see. But these new paved tracks are like that a little bit. That it seems like the more time you put on it, the faster you go.
29:40 for Timmy Hill on his first lap with another one still to go.
And that's about 2.5 tenths faster than what his fastest lap in practice.
Yeah, it seems like the more time the track gets on it with the practice sessions and all the laps that the nationwide cars just put on it, it seems like it just gets faster and faster. Like I said in the opening, Brad Keselowski said that the track was about 3/4 of a second faster this morning for them than it was yesterday, and that's because they had ARCA cars on it for a couple hours.
Yeah, as I talked to the drivers, Timmy Hill actually slowed down a little bit on his second lap there, but as I talked to him, it was like this tire was so hard that the nationwide cars and the Cup cars with the same tire weren't getting rubber down, especially the lefts weren't getting any down. But then the ARCA cars went out this morning and apparently got some rubber down in that area, and it really picked up the amount of grip that they had, and then the speeds escalated.
Yeah, normally we think when you have tires, or Hoosier tires are what's on the ARCA cars, and when you have two different makes, usually that's a bad thing. But today it seems like, and this week, it's been good on this new track.
And another topic of conversation that was discussed with me in the garage area, teams talking about the heavy overcast that's here today, slowing down that process of rubbering in the racetrack. And if we ever get some full sun on this racetrack like we're supposed to on Saturday and Sunday, it really could change the track conditions and change it for the better as far as trying to widen things out a little bit.
Well, it'll knock the speeds down. Well, as we see Josh a little bit. It's a good thing he's an open wheel former sprint car driver. He used a little bit of that experience right there, getting sideways off the corner. But if it does heat up, Alan, and it will actually slow the speeds down a little bit, which will allow them to race a little bit more side by side. Right now, today they are so fast it would be hard to race side by side.
You can see just how much on the bar graph that slide off turn 4 cost Josh in momentum. But the race car's in one piece.
It's in one piece, but he is one of the drivers that has to qualify on time here.
Yep.
Picks it up a little bit on that second lap.
Still the slowest of the three.
And still faster than the old track record.
Both laps. Even this one. Watch this. This is what you're talking about, Dale. You don't want to have to hold your breath 2 laps doing this, do you?
No, absolutely no. Yeah, that makes it tough to, you know that after that you've got to go get another lap for sure, and you're pretty certain that it's not going to be much better than that on the second one. But he was able to pick up almost 1.5 tenths.
Danica's car almost blends in with the wall on the back straightaway. That's a bright green car.
See that thing kind of doing a little wiggle dance there, getting settled in at the bottom of turn 3 on the get up to speed lap.
Well, I said earlier that these cars are relatively easy to drive, and they are physically. Now, as far as making them go fast, it's very difficult. And like I said, the forces are so high, the G-forces, and these new paved tracks too, Dale. I'm guessing it's a lot more lateral force in the car.
Yeah, there is a lot more of that, and with the setups and things that they have in here, I've talked to drivers and watched them practice and asked a couple of them about this, but really working the steering wheel more than what they have to or are accustomed to because of that combination of the speed and the setups. And Danica goes to the top of the list here.
28 into the 28-second bracket for Danica Patrick. And that is 186.896 miles an hour.
Yeah, it looked like she carried a lot more speed through turn 1 and over to turn 2, but by the looking at the graph, she may have had to get out of the gas slightly off of turn 2, and that just kills the speed down the back straightaway.
But to the top of the board in the early going in qualifying, Danica Patrick, 186.8 miles an hour, the early leader in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying at the Kansas Speedway. But we're just getting started, and a lot more really fast laps to come. Early leader in NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying, Kansas Speedway, Danica Patrick climbing out of her Chevrolet after a lap of just shy of 187 miles an hour. Patrick has just been bumped back to second place. Not by this man. David Stremme ran while we were in the commercial break. Stremme now third fastest. You see the times and speeds there on David. But another David has just gone to the top of the board. It is David Reagan who's now set the fast time. 28.804, almost into the 28.70s.
Yeah, we've seen these Fords show, all the Fords kind of show a lot of speed here today.
Carry a little extra speed in the corner. Car travels a little more or a lot more. That thing's sparking a ton.
Wow.
Already messing up his new pavement.
Hope they don't bill him for that.
All the things you messed up in your racing, did you ever get a bill?
No, probably should have.
Yeah, okay.
Some of those walls I hit.
Here is Reed Sorensen out on track while we check in with Jamie.
Well, we keep talking about how cold it is, so Danica showed us her own personal heater here. She's flipped it up. It's nice and warm, keeping her hands warm on the wheel as well. A lot going on gosh, you've been here since Wednesday already, running double duty. How has it gone for you so far with this repave, first time in the Cup car here?
It's okay, but it is challenging. I feel like when the grip levels are higher and there's more banking, that's when I do well. So it's definitely a little bit slippery, and it's taking a while to come in. But I feel like today was a little bit better. It was slippery the previous days. So coming around, getting better. I'm just a bit of a methodical learner. So things are going better and better on the Cup side, but on the nationwide side, I feel like we're in a much better position. So that's why we're doing what we're doing.
All right, and the car seems to be good. They did make an engine change before this qualifying run, Alan.
Yep, and we'll have to start at the back of the field because of that. And now Reed Sorensen jumping to the top of the leaderboard in qualifying.
Yeah, good lap for Reed Sorensen. First lap was 28.76. Back to Danica a second. I like her way of learning with the same race car. She doesn't go out at these places that she hasn't been in these new surfaces and try to get everything at one time. She takes the amount of time, and by the time to learn about the track, and then when it's time to go qualify, she's been laying down some really, really good laps. I thought that might be where she would really struggle with these cars in the Cup Series, was qualifying, but she's actually doing a really, really good job.
Kelly Byers looking to make his first NASCAR Sprint Cup start here in Kansas. Be his third Cup start overall. Little back end wide there.
Yeah, just carrying so much speed off of these corners, and we talk about the variable banking here. They really haven't gotten into using that because they're just down there in that 17-degree part. Haven't gotten up. That 20 obviously would be up towards the top part, but it falls off of pretty quick as you exit these corners, and that's why you see him get a little tail happy out of there.
Fourth fastest for Kelly, one of the drivers that must make the race on time. There will be 3 that will be sent home from Kansas Speedway without being able to compete on Sunday.
See that first lap there really dropped off after the entrance of turn 3. Able to carry a lot more speed through there this time.
Yeah, looking good right here. Not going to quite get to Reed Sorensen.
But does pick it up a spot, the third fastest for Kelly Byers. Reed Sorensen, the early leader, NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying at Kansas. Cole Witt, latest driver to run here at Kansas Speedway, 5th fastest, not yet locked into the field for Sunday's race. Reed Sorensen is locked in. He is the fastest so far. Joe Nemechek is on the track. And Dave Burns is down at the head of the grid.
Next to Jeff Gordon, who won here twice on the old Kansas. Jeff, describe the challenges this week and what you expect in these fast qualifying laps.
Yeah, it's just, really smooth, really fast. Really got to be aggressive, and the cars, got to be underneath you, and you got to do it all in, less than 28 seconds or around 28 seconds. So, it's definitely fun and challenging and intense. It's certainly a new racetrack. It's not anything like the old Kansas. So throw all those notes out, take our DuPont Chevrolet, and put the pedal down and see what happens. We were making some great gains in practice, and then we made one adjustment that was the wrong direction, and we couldn't get it out in time to make some final runs to get further up there. So we'll see. Track looks good, and see if we can lay down a good lap.
And I made him laugh a minute ago, Alan. I told him I think he's going to get a cloud. It's completely overcast.
Yeah. Does that go along with
breaking the track
record? Yeah. Joe Nemechek, 2nd fastest, locked in to Sunday's 400-miler here at Kansas Speedway, one of the places where Joe has visited Victory Lane, not once but twice. And in the same weekend, 2004, close finish there on Saturday in the NASCAR Nationwide Series race with a couple of very excited onlookers.
Yeah, he sat on the pole for that race too, for the Cup race, won the Nationwide race. Big weekend for Joe.
And here's the finish of the Sprint Cup race. Ricky Rudd tried, but came up that much short. And when we talked to Joe earlier about that very situation in the NASCAR Nationwide Series practice show, he said coolest thing about it being sponsored by the Army, they had like 200 soldiers here and they all were in victory lane and part of the photos. Scott Speed.
He's the guy that's shown that as his name, he's got speed. He's a good qualifier. Got a lot of personality. I like to see him around the racetrack. He is a great interview.
And he's got himself locked into Sunday's race, the second fastest lap so far. The 28.76 for Scott. That's 187.748 miles an hour. So Sorensen, Speed, Nemechek, and Byers are locked into the race. Still in question, Witt, Stremme, and Wise. And got still a few more cars to go before we'll get the bumping process through. In fact, it won't be until Trevor Bayne runs about nearly 20 some cars from now before the bumping process will be wrapped up. On the track, David Gilliland. Dale, you were talking about the Fords showing a lot of speed earlier. Got 3 of them in the top 4 where the practice speeds were concerned from this morning, and did show a lot of muscle.
Yeah, Doug Yates and his people have been working extremely hard and certainly making sure that they have good stuff, not only for these cars like this, but for their chase people. Getting Greg Biffle, who had a great run last week at Charlotte and was fast here earlier today. Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, who ran really well, had his best race in a long time last week at Charlotte. So even though they're getting close to the end of the season, they like to see some gains because they know that'll only benefit them as they start next year.
Well, those guys are continuously working on horsepower. I saw Doug Yates down there putting a motor in one of the cars himself yesterday. And that's one thing, as you well know there, Mr. Jarrett, that the Yates family's made great horsepower.
I think it's just like what you said, though. I think he's so hands-on. Doug and Robert was, too. They're hands-on guys that get in there, not afraid to work and work hard on these things.
Yeah, they take it personally. Not that everybody does it. It's not just a job to them.
6th fastest for David Gilliland as Reed Sorensen continues to lead. Ryan Newman getting ready. The leaderboard is changing here at Kansas Speedway in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying. Mike Bliss has locked himself into a starting spot in Sunday's race. Went to the top of the board a minute ago at a 28.69 to be topped 1 car later by J.J. Yaley, who also has guaranteed himself a spot in Sunday's race and is now atop the leaderboard. Yaley at 188.6 miles an hour with a very nice lap in that 37 car. So Josh Wise is bumped out of the field for Sunday, and Michael McDowell is on the racetrack now in the 98 car. A lot of headlines coming in and around NASCAR racing this week, including a shuffle of crew chiefs at the Stewart-Haas team. And
hey, Dave, that's not real. That's not on fire.
Newman told me they were real flames, so I was just trying to stay warm. Hey, news out today that you're going to be reunited with crew chief Matt Borland next year, and possibly at the end of this season. He may be running around somewhere. Oh, that's another racer there. Big news for you. What do you think about all that?
It is. I mean, we're doing it for the right reasons. We have the opportunity with Danica coming on board. We need a whole 3rd team, so the way it all worked out. Obviously, we're doing it for the benefit of SHR, and we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting. Obviously, Martinsville, when we start our program with Matt and I together, and then Danica for Tony and her to get together in Texas. Excited this weekend, obviously, too, to have Co3 Associates on the race car. So this is, as you've been told, wide open until you see Godman break, and that's what we're getting ready to go do.
Yeah, you want that 50th pole. Is this the place where you're going to get it?
If there was casters on the right door, I'd go for it.
Casters on the right side. What do you guys think about that idea?
I don't think much of it.
Yeah, Ryan Newman to be reunited with Matt Borland starting next week at Martinsville. Tony Gibson going over to crew chief Danica Patrick's Sprint Cup Series effort, and confirmed that Steve Addington will remain with Tony Stewart today. That announcement by Stewart-Haas Racing a couple of hours ago here in Kansas.
I think reuniting Ryan and Matt really could be a good thing for that team. I'll tell you, there was a time in this business when I really thought that those guys were going to be the next great combination, and I felt like they split, before they really realized their potential. So that may be a really good thing. When I read that this morning, I thought, wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah, some of the best times that he's had in the race car has been with Matt Borland on the box.
12 wins together between them. Michael McDowell locked into the field for Sunday, bumping David Stremme out. And another announcement earlier today, Richard Petty Motorsports has re-signed with Ford Motor Company for next season, which opens the path for Marcos Ambrose to finish up his resettlement with the Richard Petty Motorsports team. He says that it's all in line. They just have to finish it up.
As he goes to the top of the chart, look at already 2 poles this season.
Yep.
More of that Ford horsepower DJ's talking about.
I think definitely the track is quicker in this session than it was when they practiced. I think the Nationwide cars running on the racetrack put the rubber down, more rubber down. I believe the track's quicker.
You think it's that cloud cover thing?
It could be that.
Yes, yeah. Dave.
Nothing gets by Dave, though.
Andy, do you think, almost like a drag racing, when the guys do their burnout and they put down just a thin strip of rubber and then they back up into it. Do you think that these guys that are going out later have a little bit of an advantage because the guys that are going out right before them are putting down a little bit of rubber?
Is that what those drag guys are doing?
Yeah.
I wonder why they did that. I think you might be right.
189.8 miles an hour for Marcos Ambrose. Think Brad Kay will get us up over 190?
Damn, that's a pretty car.
Kansas Speedway NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying. Landon Castle, 83 car, third fastest at a 28.62 for Castle. 188.646 miles an hour. And Kurt Busch on the track, it looks like is going to be 5th fastest on his first lap as he goes for one and done in the 78 car.
Yeah, only picked up about 3/100ths of a second over what he ran in practice.
That on tape from just a moment ago. Brad Keselowski down there with a little Penske huddle going on, Dave.
There is a Penske huddle going on here, and it looks a little light right now. First of all, Sam, how good's your car, and how will it qualify?
I feel like we got some work to do. We had a good run throughout some of our practices this morning, our practice qualifying runs, but it feels like Groundhog's Day. We keep coming back, and it's still cloudy and cool, but real happy that got this opportunity. But I feel like our car is not too bad. We just got to put the lap together.
I'm sure that Sam will be able to do that. He's been in the Nationwide car earlier today. If we step to his left, Brad Keselowski, championship leader, is among those waiting to go out. Earlier, when you and I talked, Brad, you said to me you hope it rains, so you might not have to go through all this. But how are you feeling right now about getting out there and qualifying?
Well, I think, qualifying is not our strong suit as a team, but it's something that we're working on, and I think we've made a little bit of progress with having the test days that we've had here to give us kind of a shot to work at it, but we still would like to be stronger. I'm not expecting a lot, but I would hope that we can qualify better than last week because track position is very important, and especially at a new facility where it's going to be hard to pass. So we'll work around it either way, and I think the most important thing is that we have speed and race trim, and I'm proud of my guys for that.
Thanks. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Brad Keselowski, championship leader. His number 2 car is rolling up the grid, Alan.
Yeah, I talked to him in the garage just a little bit ago. He's saying that they don't qualify well, but they have a really good race package most everywhere they go. And he says it seems like cars that qualify good don't race good, and vice versa. And I said, well, wouldn't you take both? He went, yeah. And this week especially because it's going to be hard to pass.
And second fastest for Bobby Labonte in the 47 car. The number 1 team in the land is on ESPN tomorrow. A.J. McCarron leading the Crimson Tide's well-balanced attack into Knoxville to face Tyler Bray and the Volunteers, who are in need of a big win. It's college football primetime presented by Hampton Hotels. Alabama, Tennessee, tomorrow at 7 on ESPN and live on Watch ESPN.
It will take everything Tennessee has to make any run at Alabama.
I was going to say, that's going to be a tough one for the Vols, isn't it? Yes, it is.
It'll be a good night for college football watching on Saturday night as we watch Jeff Gordon go to the green flag in this 24 car to Florida State, Miami, of particular interest in my neck of the woods. And Alabama, Tennessee, got some good matchups. Jeff second fastest on his first lap.
So he's going to shut it down.
28.49, that is 189.520 miles an hour. Not quite to that 190 mile an hour mark yet, but I'll bet we get there. Jamie?
And Marcus Ambrose just said, that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm still P1. So how does the track feel now that it's a little bit colder than the last time you were out there in practice?
Yeah, the speeds are so high that the Black & Decker 4 that I'm driving today with a brand new colour scheme, we were excited about that. It's just hard to repeat the lap from practice because it's just, the track has changed some. It's a lot cooler, hard to get temperature in these tyres, and the speeds are really fast. I mean, this track actually feels a lot faster than Michigan, which is the fastest track on the circuit because the corners are tighter and obviously there's more load going through the car.
Very interesting. Feels faster than Michigan. That's saying a lot, Alan.
Yeah. And really, an identical situation. Third track this year, Pocono, Michigan, now Kansas Speedway, where fresh pavement, a couple of extended testing sessions going into the race weekend, and higher speeds than we've seen before at those tracks.
Yeah, and I think my memory's right that he set that track record at Michigan at well over 200 miles per hour that first time there. So for him to say that it feels faster is pretty incredible. But you don't have that banking that you have at Michigan to help you go around. Plus, it's a 2-mile racetrack.
Now, you do have more banking here than you did before. A little bit. Used to be a 15-degree bank all the way around. Now they've gone to the progressive banking here, where it's up to the 17 in the bottom lane there, and 20 degrees further up the racetrack some.
Yeah, they'll get to that eventually. I don't know that it'll be this weekend that they get up to that 20 degrees of banking, but eventually that will pay dividends for some really good racing here.
Yeah, and the idea there, I mean, all banking does is create downforce, right? Like we keep talking about downforce. I try and explain it to people. It's no different than watching the guy ride the motorcycle in the barrel. He's just that's the ultimate banking, and the hope is that the longer radius with more banking creates the same speed, which will make side-by-side racing, and we've seen that happen at a lot of places with variable banking, like Homestead and Iowa and places like that.
I think they've done a really good job with this track too. I mean, you look at it, I think they've really accomplished what they set out to do. It's just up to these guys to see how wide they make the groove and how well it'll work this first time on it.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of things here since the tire test to try to get rubber down in all across the racing surface from the bottom to the top. But it just takes the race cars and getting in that, and these drivers just don't want to venture out there right now because it's very slick and you're going to crash.
Ryan Newman on the track looking for, as he's been for a little while, his 50th pole position. And the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series says he wants it really badly.
Well, he's going to have it for a little while now on this first lap.
Just to do it.
We'll do it for now, Ryan.
Wow. 10th and a half faster than Ambrose.
Oh, a little wiggle right there. I think you had some thoughts for a minute of trying to get that second lap, see what it might get.
190.
There's plenty of grip out there. We're just still loose.
190.853 miles an hour for Ryan Newman, the new leader in qualifying, the 2003 Sprint Cup Series winner here at Kansas Speedway. Ryan Newman, the leader in NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying here at the Kansas Speedway in new track record fashion. Over 190 miles an hour with 24 cars having made their times so far. During the break, Travis Kvapil ran in the 93 car. Travis right now showing 12th fastest. There are his times and speeds. Didn't this happen last week during qualifying at Charlotte too? We had the Burger King car and the McDonald's car back to back.
I think so.
And I made the puns about the buns.
The Bass Pro Shops this week, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jamie's trying to reel in Travis here. And Jamie McMurray in 4th fastest in that one car. Of course, a big weekend for Jamie, along with Carl Edwards and Clint Bowyer. This is the closest track to their hometowns. Jamie from Joplin, Missouri. We heard from Sam Hornish Jr. a little while ago. Now Sam is on the clock, and while we watch him on the track, let's check in with Jamie Little.
Well, Ryan Newman didn't need to bring out the casters on the right side to go P1. So do you think it'll hold for your 50th pole here in the Sprint Cup Series?
I don't think it'll hold, no, but it was a great lap for our Co-3 Associates Chevrolet. The guys did a good job making it better. I don't think we made it good enough is the problem. I think that Biffle and a couple of the guys are going to be really fast, probably pushing the 27-second bracket.
That'll be impressive to see, no doubt, but a good run for Ryan Newman.
Haven't seen that apron used too many times today on the end of those qualifying laps.
Does that really help anyway, Dale?
No, you just think. I mean, no, I can't say that it does. I don't have anything that backs that up to say that it really does. But it makes you think that you're taking a shortcut. So you know how drivers' minds are pretty fragile. So
hey, you see that left rear tire on that 22? Looks like it's driven about a foot up in that wheel well. That's some of the things these guys are doing with this rear suspension to get that skew, but that one's very obvious with this car.
yeah, and he goes up to second, makes a pickup there on that second lap quite a bit, puts him in second spot. I noticed his car earlier today during the practice session that really caught my eye, and then saw some others that were somewhat close to that, but this is the first one I saw that is so noticeable.
So Sam Hornish second on the board after 25 of 46 drivers have run. Still to go, one of the hometown favorites, Clint Bowyer.
And last week's winner, Alan, Clint Bowyer, now getting ready to qualify here. What did last week's win do for you guys in terms of the momentum you might need to really put yourselves back in the chase?
Well, you know, after Talladega, you're just down and out. You're so dejected, and to be able to go and turn things back around and give yourself, you know, some new hopes, a new life. Just everybody's back to their same old, you know, pep in their step and excited, and that's what we needed, you know, to have any shot at staying in the championship hopes. Exactly what we did. So it's fun. We're back. We still got pink on the car. Still got all the same situations. I'm telling you, it could come down to something similar to that. You know, here, this track's fast. This lap right here is going to get your attention. I told the guys, I mean, the car's tongue's hanging out, the driver's tongue's hanging out. You get done with that lap, you're winded. There's no more. You don't want any more.
Thanks, Clint. Hey, what's Denny Hamlin's tongue doing there, Alan? What's it look like?
It's probably hanging out, according to Clint.
That car was.
Yeah, he's hanging out second fastest on the first of those two laps. And it probably is got to be one of the more difficult things to do after you've had a hard crash at a racetrack, to come back the next day and lay it out there for a qualifying run.
Yeah, the hard thing is you have to go qualify then that next time. So yeah, it's always, you know, you have to put it out of your mind, because this is what you do, and then things are going to happen. And anytime that you go fast like Denny Hamlin does all the time, you know, things are going to happen. You know, we're so used to seeing these drivers be almost perfect, and when they, you know, there is a situation, yeah, it just takes you, gets you off guard. But Denny Hamlin's professional. He was ready to get back in the race car. Did yesterday, and then jumped right in this morning, and today going very fast.
Second quick for the moment is Denny Hamlin. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll have coverage of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series practice starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time here on ESPN2, followed by the NASCAR Nationwide Series race a little later in the day on ESPN starting at 3 Eastern. Sunday, round 6 in the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Our telecast presented by Ram is on ESPN at 1 Eastern Time. Who's going to win at Kansas? And what will the championship picture look like as we head to the Martinsville race a week from Sunday?
I think we got 2 weeks here back-to-back to say what are things going to look like after these 2 weeks, because a lot of things can happen with this new surface and then the short track at Martinsville next week.
Martin Truex Jr. had his heart broken here at Kansas Speedway back in April. Led 173 of 267 laps, but 31 laps from the finish. Got passed by Denny Hamlin and had to settle for second.
Well, they had a great race, that's for sure here, but as all the drivers have said, and crew chiefs saying, you know, what happened then doesn't translate to what may happen here on Sunday with this new surface.
All right, help me out here. Was I completely wrong saying we hadn't seen many people down on the apron, and all of a sudden, like since I said it, the last 5 guys have gone down there?
Well, that's because you said it, Alan. They were listening and said, well, not street, and these guys have been pretty fast too. 2 of the guys that have done it are up there in the top 4 now.
I'd be the last guy you'd listen to for advice on driving a race car fast. Denny Hamlin was fast, Jamie.
Well, a lot of guys are talking about this lap getting your attention, Denny, and yesterday the track got your attention, a big hit. What was it like for you getting in your car and getting up to speed here?
Yeah, I mean, it's you always have a rebound time that you got to have to get your senses back, get the trust in the car and everything back. And proud of everyone, Darian and the crew, for being patient yesterday and working through that time that a driver needs after a wreck. But can't say enough about our FedEx Freight Toyota. We're not the car we wanted to race originally, but this was not too bad.
It's a backup for sure, and you see it there. Big hit yesterday. He was feeling dizzy afterwards, but the good news, Denny is feeling good today, Alan.
As Brad Keselowski is out on the racetrack in the 2 car, Denny drove that car back in after the accident yesterday. He was asked by NASCAR to go to the infield medical center, and then in the time that they wanted to wait to check him again. It was going to be a little while, so they allowed him to go back to his motor coach and rest more comfortably than just sitting in the medical center when he returned. That kind of stirred up a little bit of scuttlebutt because it appeared like it might have been some different way of doing things in the aftermath of the whole Dale Jr. thing. But speaking with NASCAR officials and other drivers, it really wasn't. They just said, you know, go sit in your motor coach where you'll be a little more comfortable. Before we clear you, we want to talk to you again.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. You know, yesterday was kind of an odd deal. We don't do that many of those just open practice sessions, and Keselowski picks it up on the second lap, but it was kind of normal. I got a question to you, crew chiefs. Brad talking about that qualifying's not their strong suit, but they're right there every single race. We've seen this over the years from people, champions. Matt Kenseth comes to mind, that during a lot of years he just doesn't qualify that well, but you see him in race trim.
I don't get it. I mean, some of the drivers that I work with, Harry Gant and Dale Earnhardt was not a good qualifier. But as soon as the green flag came out, I remember races at Charlotte, we'd start back in the 30s, even worse, and come straight to the front. I don't really understand what it is, but I know they're going to be disappointed with this qualifying run when it's all said and done, because they're going to have a lot of work to do when this race starts. Brad Keselowski in that 2 bunch.
Juan Pablo Montoya on the clocks, trying to knock Ryan Newman off the #1 spot.
He's doing his best to widen the groove out some. That's as high as we've seen a car.
Newman's teammate and owner Tony Stewart yet to make his qualifying run, Dave.
Yep, and he's, I'm sure, proud of Ryan right now, putting Stewart-Haas Racing on the top of the board. You and I were talking earlier today, and I believe you quoted stupid fast for the speeds here. What's qualifying going to be like?
It is stupid fast. I mean, you got perfect conditions to do it. It's cool. It makes great horsepower, and Kansas did a good job repaving the racetrack, so it's got a lot of grip. So it just keeps getting quicker and quicker and quicker.
And that first lap into the turn, Tony, what's it like for you to trust the car and then hope she goes the way it should go?
Well, AJ Allmendinger and I were just talking about, I thought I ran through turn 3 and 4 almost flat. The telemetry that we are allowed to have showed that I wasn't near as far down on the throttle in the middle of the corner as I thought. So there's some sort of probably one of many breakups in the circuit between my brain and my right foot right now. My brain's telling it to go wide open. My brain's going, are you crazy? We're stupid for doing that. So I got to see if I can try to get them synced up for one qualifying lap.
The downside of telemetry just illustrated by the reigning champion, Tony Stewart, Alan.
And laughing about it, too. That's fun.
Well, I'm sure that if there's one guy that can put his right foot down, it's Tony Stewart. Don't let him kid you with the things that he drives. And I know if they told him he wasn't wide open, he'll be taking his left foot and putting it over on top of his right foot for the corner this time.
It's like they wanted to try to have him sitting on the battery charger.
Sometimes that's the worst thing you can see as a driver, though, when you thought that you were something and they show you no, you just weren't quite there.
Yeah, you used to be able to tell them that stuff.
Yeah,
now they can go back and find out. Looks like Harvick used all that groove off of turn 2 there.
He did.
Yeah, lots of changes going on over there. You know, we've seen where Richard Childress said he was committed to making the proper changes, and they've just brought Eric Warren over to be the director of competition over there, and it looks like they have found a little bit of speed.
Yeah, good first lap for Harvick.
Wow, 204 miles an hour into turn 1.
They're hauling.
Wow.
I want to ask you, Ray, you've worked with Dr. Eric Warren, and he's coming over there. Gosh, I'm telling you, Jason's car. I just want to know what will he bring to that team over there?
He's a brilliant guy. You know, he has a degree in space. He's a rocket scientist.
Oh, he's a real rocket scientist. We always thought we were.
No, but we did. But you know, Eric worked for me on my program. Did a great job. We're still certainly friends. And Eric has been maturing through the, he's worked for Penske. He's worked for me. He was on the Roush Petty program, and I think that what he can bring to them, Eric's expertise is a lot in the simulation and CFD that we talk about, the scientifics of putting a race car together. I think if they combine that with the hands-on guys, like Gil and like Kevin Harvick, it can be a good combination.
Well, Kevin Harvick posted the third fastest speed, and he used every inch of this racetrack. Look at this.
Yeah, he did it both laps. I mean, he gets right up next to that wall. I can't tell him, accuse him of not going fourth there in qualifying. Like he got all there was.
I guess at some points it's a little information overload, but I just hadn't thought to watch the entry speed into these corners yet on our telemetry. But Kevin Harvick was doing 204 miles an hour. He was at over 200 at the start-finish line.
Yeah, I noticed it earlier when Bobby Labonte ran. I was actually looking at it, and he was 203, 204. He's ninth quick so far, so we'll likely see some speeds going in there that are much higher than that.
Yeah, I've talked to these drivers. They're talking about how early they're back in the throttle down there because there's so much grip. See, 207 miles an hour there for Burton. But they're back in the gas wide open before they get to the center of the corner, and this just translated into so much speed on exit and then down the straightaway.
What really gets you this speed right through the middle of the corner. Look at that. They're not getting anything less than 183 was the minimum speed. To me, that's almost as impressive, if not more so.
On a 1.5-mile track. Jeff Burton, 8th fastest. First of his 2 laps, the quicker. Ryan Newman still on top of the board in search of that 50th pole in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Still got 15 guys to take a shot at him. Downtown Kansas City, and just to its west, Kansas City, Kansas, and the Kansas Speedway, where NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying is ongoing. Paul Menard just finishing up his run during the break, 4th fastest. So we've got Childress cars in 3rd and 4th and 9th.
But it looks like they're working together now anyway.
Yeah, that's solid effort, and that's what they need. That's the thing they've been lacking is speed, and finally getting some of that.
And here's Mark Martin on the track in the 55. Mark is going to be in the 3rd position.
Well, just a few hundredths off the pole, too.
No, Andy, I saw just a few sparks on that car. It almost looked like it was still on the straightaway. You think that might have just slowed that thing down enough on that first lap?
Well, I see. Actually, that's just close to being perfect, though. They're hitting that thing at the exact right spot on the left front corner.
He's got a good one going.
Yeah, he's going to be right there. I believe he's got it.
He's gaining, too.
I guess that does help.
Yeah,
but
it does.
He drove off down there and picked up. And on the pole.
Got it done.
Good job.
191.238 miles an hour. Mark Martin to the top of the board. Well, that's a number for Carl Edwards to shoot for, Dave.
Ooh, that's a big number. He was 4th in practice qualifying earlier today. How much more do you do or can you do or do you not want to do as a driver to get that pole speed?
Here, for me, I do just about anything. If we get the pole here and get a good starting spot and go win this race, it would change the way we look at our whole season. You know, we've struggled and we've slowly been building momentum. Last week was very good, and a win here would be huge. I mean, you've hung out in Columbia with me. You know how important this place is to me, and you know, this is as close as I get to home with the Cup car, and I'm really excited about this weekend.
Starting to turn things around at the 99, Alan.
All right, Dave, thanks. And the last of the bumping about to happen here. Trevor Bayne or Cole Witt will be in the field.
You know, sometime I'd like to see Trevor Bayne, whoa, a little wiggle right there, but I'd like to see him in a situation where he didn't have to worry about just going out and making the race with this car, to where he could kind of turn it loose, because there's a lot of speed in this Wood Brothers Ford, and he knows how to drive it fast, but they have to be so concerned about not making a mistake and just making sure they get in the race.
And in the race they are. 22nd on that first lap. Does lock in Trevor Bayne and bumps Cole Witt from the field. So it'll be Witt, Stremme, and Wise, the 3 that go home. And of course, a picture there that's all going to change for next season. Changes announced by NASCAR earlier this week, that top 35 rule will go away, and fields will go back to being determined primarily by speed, with 36 qualifying on time, 6 provisionals for the top cars in owners' points that haven't made the field on time, and then 1 past champion provisional to make up the 43-car field. That'll start at Daytona in February, and of course the qualifying races at Daytona go back to being a whole lot more important as well. So as Clint Bowyer heads out onto the racetrack, when last we saw Kansas Clint, his car was rolling into victory lane at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You'll notice an additional crew person on the back of the car. Carissa Thompson from Sports Nation and ESPN. There are a handful of ESPN Sports Center anchors and so on that maybe don't get to spend much time around NASCAR, who were at the Charlotte racetrack last week. They got to go through Hendrick Motorsports. They got to drive Richard Petty driving. No, they were Dale Jarrett racing adventure cars.
They were.
I beg your pardon. All right, don't hit me. And let's see, we've got Chris McHenry on the left, John Buccigross, Carissa Thompson, Sarah Walsh, and they all got a real inside look at what the world of NASCAR is all about.
Yeah, I think they really enjoyed having a good time there and seeing a little more what it's about, because so many of them haven't been around our sport that much, and so we wanted to give them an opportunity as they talk about it each and every week to kind of see and get a little bit firsthand what it's about. Clint Bowyer, second quickest.
Again, shows some strength. Not only the Toyotas, but the Michael Waltrip cars have been showing an awful lot of speed.
191.1 miles an hour for Bowyer.
There's Michael.
Mikey got first and second right now. First, second, and eighth with his 3 cars.
Well, when we started that race there, when Michael started, but I was a part of it there, we used to have to go from the bottom up to find our cars and the speeds, and what a big turnaround. And it says a lot of good things about Michael Waltrip, Ty Norris, who's been there, Rob Kaufman coming in to be a part of that, and everybody that they have on board there. But I was talking to Mark Martin this morning, who's on the pole and a teammate, just about the impact that he's had on that race team. And of course, he deflects a lot of that to everybody that's there. But I think this man has been a big part of that, because he shows them how fast these race cars will go. And so the others have to step up. They know the speed's there then.
Well, he's got the fastest race car right now, Jamie.
Well, he was just telling me, it's very interesting. He said, I usually don't believe in 2-lap qualifying, but you had to there. Why?
Yeah, and I need to practice holding my breath for a minute instead of 30 seconds. We got loose the first lap there in the middle of 1 and 2, and the car's been getting tighter as we go. So I knew the second lap would be tighter. I didn't know if I could run quicker or not, but I needed to, I lost time there. It really stepped out in the middle of 1 and 2.
That's your teammate trying to run you over, by the way.
So anyways, it's a good run, but that one was more work than I was used to for qualifying. I thought it was going to be an easy lap.
Well, nice work by him, and he hangs on right now, Alan, P1.
Oh, look at that graph on Kyle Busch. So close.
So close, and he's still just third.
Yep.
He just missed beating Bowyer by, what, 5,000ths of a second?
Just another comment to finish up on Mark Martin. Spoke to crew chief Rodney Childress this week, and he signed again up with MWR. And one of the main reasons Rodney said he did that is that he wanted to spend another year with Mark Martin. He felt so strongly that, about working with Mark Martin. He said he's been good for me and good with me, and I really want to spend time with him.
I think he's good for the organization too.
Well, Mark Martin and Clint Bowyer first and second, Kyle Busch third, Jamie.
Well, Clint, you tried to run him over because his time was faster than yours. Where did he get you out there?
Mark Martin is a qualifying machine. If you can get even remotely close to what he runs a qualifying trim, that's a good run for me. Just proud of the 5-Hour Energy guys. Car's pretty good. That was actually a good pickup for us. I think it'll be a good starting spot. That's a fast lap, man. I'm telling you, it's unreal how much that gets your attention. The thing kind of wiggled. I arced it big because I saw some cars getting tight, and that's what I've been fighting, tight off of 2, and arced it real big getting into 1. The thing wiggled, and I was a little slow getting to the gas. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
A lot of wide eyes down here, Alan.
Yeah, but a lot of smiles there, too. And boy, what it would be for Clint Bowyer if he could win this race on Sunday at Kansas Speedway. Tony Stewart.
Now he's still working on that circuitry right there between his brain and his foot. Is that what he said?
Yep.
You have to pick it up a little bit on the second lap now. It was only 25th quickest. Uh-oh, he's slower off of turn 2 that time. Yeah, it doesn't matter where he qualifies, though, does it?
Yeah, another one of those drivers that doesn't get that much in qualifying, but always shows up in that top 10, if not looking for a victory.
Second lap for Tony is going to be a little bit slower, so 25th out of 37 for Tony Stewart. He'll have some work to do on Sunday to get that all-important track position. 9 cars to go. Mark Martin on the pole, Joey Logano chasing. Down to the final 9 cars in NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying. Kansas Speedway, A.J. Allmendinger, 7th fastest, and James Finch's 51 car. As Kyle Busch sits in the number 3 spot on the board behind Clint Bowyer, who's second, and Mark Martin, who is currently in the number 1 position. Here's Matt Kenseth on the track now.
Yeah, we were talking about that Ford power, but DJ just pointed out here on the break, we need to be talking about the Toyota power. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Kenseth isn't going to knock him off of there either. He's got a good lap, 7th quickest on that first one, but those Toyotas showing a lot of horsepower.
First lap was pretty clean. Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
We heard Matt cut the engine clean.
Yeah, there you go, Alex.
Yeah, I'm with you here.
There we go.
Matt, 7th fastest. Kyle Busch 3rd, Jamie.
Yes, he's up there 3rd, and all these guys are high-fiving each other about that lap. How did it feel to you, Kyle? You were so close.
All those drivers are high-fiving each other because we're coming back alive. It's fast. It's crazy. But guys gave me a great car. The Halloween special here is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to drive. I mean, they're super fast around this place, and the speed you carry, not necessarily just down a straightaway, but the minimum through the corner is amazing. So guys did a really, really nice job. I hope that holds up for top 5, top 6, get us a good starting spot, and get good pit selection as well, too. But we'll see what happens here and go get them Sunday.
All right, Kyle got his first top 10 at this track in the spring, Alan.
Whoa, whoa, whoa for Regan Smith. Huge moment there in turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to have to regroup here. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, he carried a lot of speed down in there and looked like he was really going after it, but that thing started wiggling in the middle of 1 and 2. That gets your attention, and now you have to regroup somewhat and see if you can make some kind of effort out of this second lap.
Wow. Talked to Regan this morning. He felt like after the testing the last couple of days here, they'd have a pretty good car for qualifying. And obviously he was 7th fastest in the practice earlier. But that one didn't work out.
I think that car was just too free. I mean, as soon as that car loaded up getting into 1, I mean, it was basically out of control. He just had to save it.
See what it is. I saw the big wiggle there. Yeah, it's not very good.
34th for Regan Smith at a 28.84. And he's lucky to have a race car in one piece.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is he did a really nice job. Once that, you could see that thing just turning in there, and the back just didn't have enough grip to keep up. Most of the time you get out of that groove right there, and you're going to be setting sail. But Regan did a nice job of getting it settled down and keeping the car in one piece.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. sitting out the second consecutive race, was up in Pittsburgh meeting with a leading expert on concussions and going through some therapy there. Said that the plan is for early next week him to jump in a race car, as was discussed last week at Charlotte, and with hopes of being cleared to return for the Martinsville race a week from Sunday. Jimmy Johnson on the track now. Brad Keselowski sitting 19th in the qualifying order. While we watch Jimmy, let's check with Dave Burns,
who is with the guy who was fastest in practice. And I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for Jimmy as well, see if he goes to the top of the board. Greg, very impressive in practice. Can you repeat and get your second pole in a row?
I think so. You know, this Sherwin-Williams Ford Fusion really good. The guys did a great job on it. We left it alone from practice, which is unusual. We're always usually working on it. But, you know, as long as it's got the grip, you know, the track didn't cool down too much or whatnot, I think they'll be able to do it.
He was really good in practice. What did Jimmy do there, Alan?
5th on lap 1 and 5th on lap 2. Picked it up a little bit, Dave, on the second lap, but not enough to move up any in rank, and Jimmy Johnson will start pretty close to the front. So we've got Johnson 5th, Hamlin 6th, Keselowski 20th. It sounds kind of familiar. Isn't that how they about started last Saturday night in Charlotte, too?
Yep, very similar to what they did. And say Keselowski is able to use a little strategy and stuff to get himself up to the front, and stayed there until they ran a little short on fuel.
I'll tell you what was interesting and actually impressive last week was how that 2-car led. So they led the most laps last week, but did most of that on tires that were older than the cars he was running against, using that strategy to get the track position, but able to have a fast enough car to keep it for a lot of laps last week.
Casey Kahne on the track now, 5 cars to go, and again, just joining us, track position due to the new surfacing here at Kansas Speedway, new configuration, and so on. Really expected to be fast, fast, fast where the race pace is concerned on Sunday. The faster you go, the harder it is to pass. Casey Kahne is going fast.
Really fast, the fastest. What?
Had a little wobble there coming off of 4.
Got just enough to get to the top right there. A 2/100ths of a second.
Wow.
Casey, good qualifier, always qualified good here. Had the misfortune of destroying one of my cars on the get-go lap on his rookie year. He was pretty sure he was going to get me a pole. We never quite got to the green. So seems he's matured and done a good job for Mr. Hendrick there.
Yeah, he brought this one home.
Yeah.
He didn't even get yours to the green flag?
Never even made the green.
Well, that's the new fast lap. Barely for Kasey Kahne, and he goes to the top of the board with 4 drivers to go. 191.360 miles an hour. One of the top defenses and most explosive offenses. Highlight an SEC tussle on ESPN tomorrow afternoon. Les Miles, Bayou Bengals D, led by Sam Montgomery, look to slow down sensational freshman QB Johnny Manziel in the Aggies. College football presented by Cars.com. 6th-ranked LSU takes on number 18 Texas A&M tomorrow at noon on ESPN and live on Watch ESPN. Certainly glad things. Very scary situation down at College Station and the Texas A&M campus today has turned out well. There was apparently a bomb threat that was emailed in, and they evacuated the campus, put their emergency plan into effect, but they have cleared buildings and so on. In fact, to the point that our ESPN crew is back inside Kyle Fields, continuing to set up for the game, and all appears to be in good shape there. Scary, though.
Yeah, most definitely.
Here's Carl Edwards. Going to be a little disappointed with that, I think. 14th.
We'll take this second lap, see if he can get a little bit. As they were talking to Biffle there, I was looking at that time. He was going to have to run basically what he ran in practice to get the pole from Mark Martin. Now he's going to have to pick it up just a little bit.
Yeah, but he actually slowed down from practice, and now he's just going to take the 1 lap.
Well, it'll be 14th for Carl Edwards. Jimmy Johnson sitting in 6th, Jamie.
And he is currently, and after practice, you said, we're so fast in qualifying trim, I saw Elvis. Did you see Elvis in that run?
I did. I saw him again. There's an old saying, drive it in, the corner and don't hit the brakes until you see, and there's a few names that come about, and Elvis is one I grew up hearing about. So I went in until I saw Elvis again and went a little further yet, and had a great lap. Car's been very fast. It's awfully close up at the top, and it's hard to look back on the lap and say where I could have been faster, because you're just driving your guts out and really doing all that you can all the way around the track. And it's fast, you just don't know if it's fast enough. But we had a very solid lap. Excited for my low Chevrolet. I think we're going to be strong Sunday. We've been here so many days I can't figure out which day we're on, but we're on Friday, so come Sunday we're going to be great.
And the good news, you will definitely start top 10. Alan?
Somebody keep that man on schedule for the weekend. Don't want to miss the drivers meeting Sunday, because that'll cost you a good starting spot. Here's Eric Almirola. Looking to make just his 2nd start in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series here at Kansas Speedway. Taking a run at it. Wow. Had that curve moving the right way off turn 4.
Yeah, really close. Good qualifier. He is a pole winner at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the 600 this year. I think that was his first and maybe his only pole, but he has shown speed on these 1.5 miles.
Check out the numbers, right? 28.219, 28.237, 28.253, hundredths of a second separating these top 5.
Yeah, it's like short track racing that we see, where we see hundredths of a second separating each spot. He slows down a 10th on the 2nd lap, but top 5 spot right now.
Very nice.
And you talk about competitive then. Over the distance of 1.5 miles, how much really is 100th of a second?
Pretty close. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I can't give you the number. I don't know. What is it?
Dr. Eric Warren could figure it out for me.
Can you figure it out?
I can't figure it out.
I thought you were about to. Yeah.
I bet it's like inches.
I actually am always fascinated by that, but I give up trying to do the calculation, because I have trouble carrying the 1. But how many inches or feet would it be in that brief period of time at that speed? And there'll be plenty of speed here throughout the weekend at Kansas. A very quick practice session tomorrow for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at 11 Eastern Time on ESPN2. And then the NASCAR Nationwide Series race at 3 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN, as Stenhouse and Sadler and Dillon continue the fight for that championship into the final races of the season. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race 6 in the chase, presented by Ram. 1 Eastern Sunday on ESPN. Who's going to win it? How will the championship contenders fare? What will the big story be from here at Kansas on Sunday? 2 cars to go. Kasey Kahne on the pole. Joey Logano making a run at it.
Joey was really excited when we spoke to him last night about his cars for this race, both the Nationwide car and the Cup car. Feels like he's got a pretty good car. Looks like he's going to give it up on with just one and done, though.
That'll be 8th fastest for Joey Logano, and 1 car left to go. It's either going to be Kasey Kahne or Greg Biffle leading this field to the green on Sunday. Jamie?
Well, Kasey Kahne standing here taking it in. We just have 1 more car to go. Kasey, do you think it's good enough to stick here?
A fast car, too. Greg's been fast all weekend. So it'll be interesting if we can keep it. But our Farmers Insurance Chevrolet was awesome right there. It was great. I tried to get a little, I went into 3 and felt like I could go wide open, so I went back to wide open, and then I started just chattering a little bit, so I had to ease back off the throttle and back down, and I definitely gave up a little bit of time doing that. So far, so good, though.
Well, interesting. He still had a little bit more. We'll have to wait and see if it holds for perhaps his 3rd pole here.
All right, Jamie, 1 car to go, and here it is. Greg Biffle on the clock right now.
All he has to do is do what he did in practice, and he'll have it.
If only it were that simple, right?
Well, I say he's got to do what he did. He's got to pick up actually 100th of a second for practice.
That 100th we were talking about.
The same one we're talking about.
We don't know how many inches or feet that may be, but
he's got to pick up at least 100.
He's going to have to pick up from this point for sure.
Yeah.
I think Kasey Kahne's liking what he sees so far.
Mark Martin went faster on his 2nd lap, but it sounds like Biffle's going to shut her down after 1.
It looks like you had to have a 5 on the side of your car to be up in the front row this week.
Greg Biffle, 11th fastest. I'm laughing at Kasey Kahne clapping on the right when he got the word. So, Kasey Kahne will lead this field to the green on Sunday with the pole position, the 26th of his NASCAR Sprint Cup Series career, and his 3rd here at Kansas already. And while we wait to follow up on that, let's check in with Dave.
With Eric Almirola getting pats in the back from his crew. Do you feel like you got all out of that you needed to get?
I got all of it that I could get out of it. It was just too loose, but this Farmland Ford Fusion's been fast since we got here. Been really fast in race trims and qualifying trim as well. So just proud of all the guys at Richard Petty Motorsports, Todd Parrott, and all the boys on this 43 team. We've had a fast car since we got here, and it was fast right there. Just too loose to get as much as I needed to beat the 5, but man, this place is fast.
I was going to say, what is racing going to look like here on Sunday, Eric?
Well, I'm glad I'm 5th, so I'm starting on the inside because the 2nd groove looks like it's just not worked in real good yet. So maybe the Nationwide race and the ARCA race will get that better. But I'm glad I'm starting on the inside. I'm starting 5th, and I think the race is just going to be a lot about track position. So it's important that we've started with a good note and we're starting up front. So that'll be important all day.
Got the first step done. Alan?
All right, Dave, thanks. So Almirola there with his 5th qualifying position, and Kasey Kahne talking about winning the pole for Sunday's race here at the Kansas Speedway as we take a look at the starting lineup for that 400-miler with Kahne and Martin going to share the front row, and Clint Bowyer, the home state driver, on the inside of row 2.
Yeah, I think you got to give Jimmy Johnson the early edge here. He's qualifying up there inside the top 10, 7th.
Joey Logano, even though he's not a part of the chase, has had a really good chase so far with some top 10 finishes.
Yes, he has.
You see Allmendinger, good solid top 15 qualifying in that 51 car.
You know, the thing that I'm worried about is Brad Keselowski back there in 25th spot. A long way to go on a tight track that we don't know if it's ever going to widen up.
Tony Stewart, speaking of a long way to go, well deep in the field. And the final 3. And again, those who failed to qualify: Cole Witt, David Stremme, and Josh Wise, as Kasey Kahne scores his 4th pole of the 2012 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. So record-setting speed here on the day today here at the Kansas Speedway, and now we look ahead to Sunday's 400 miles, and I guess headline number 1 would in fact be the championship leaders starting way back in the pack.
Yeah, we saw this happen once before when we went to Texas. Remember how fast it was when it was brand new? It was one groove. Okay, so not only worrying about not being able to pass, but there were a lot of crashes as the guys got out of the groove, so I'm worried about that. Oh, and by the way, I've been ciphering. I'm thinking it's somewhere between 2 to 3 feet.
It wasn't inches after all. I think what I'm seeing here is this track is kind of treacherous, and we haven't seen a lot of cautions this year. This might be a race that we see more cautions, and I think that might affect some of the strategy that some of the teams are thinking about. But I'm kind of with Ray. I think that's going to be a hard fight back there from 25th for Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting day for everybody involved. The pit crews are going to be a big part of this. Strategy is going to be a big part of it. And some things that I saw in practice, getting on the pit road is going to be interesting. It's a tough transition, very tight getting on that pit road, have to slow down, and the bottom groove is still the faster way around, the only way around right now. So could we see some problems there?
So all 46 cars qualify faster than the previous track record. Casey Kahne, the fastest of them, and he'll lead the field to the green flag on Sunday. Up next, NFL 32, presented by E-Trade.